a big selling point of capitalism as far as discussions, or for someone who's a pro-capitalist would say, uh, wealth trickles down.
Mm-hmm.
Capital with the rich sort of trickles down to everyone in this cycle, or in this sphere of, let's say, you are creating an industry, creating some sort of product, the fruits kind of trickle down to everyone in the supply chain.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a like fallacy, or it does not reflect in the real world?
No, that's a very important myth to kind of demystify and all. So you're right that wealth trickles down. I also said that over the last 200 years, as the world has kind of turned capitalist, material consumption levels have gone up. Like we were saying that each generation over the last 3 or 4 generations in the country, it is empirically possible to prove that the sons and the daughters were consuming more than their parents and so on. So there is definitely a downward diffusion of consumer goods, etc., in capitalism, simply because production is going up. So the net production is going up. Everybody is getting some share. It is true that the upper classes are getting a larger share, and therefore inequality is happening. But I think the problem with this model is that we need to understand this concept of absolute poverty and relative poverty. So absolute poverty means that, for example, if you were to put a benchmark saying how many Indians were earning less than 100 rupees a day in 1980, that percentage would, and if you look at the same number of people earning less than 100 rupees in 2020, I'm saying we adjust the 100 for inflation,
Yes.
the number would go down. True. So you can say that absolute poverty has gone down. So if you put 100 as a mark of poverty, but I think there is also another concept of relative poverty, which means that the bottom 10% of the population, their income compared to the top 10%, if this ratio has really gone up, then today I will say that the bottom 10% ends up feeling poorer in the society they live. So there is also a psychological dimension to it, and society also reshapes itself to start delivering goods, services. So your sense of self-worth, your sense of self-esteem, whether you are a person who's successful or not in society, this perception really changes. So, which is why I think inequality and relative poverty are kind of related things. For human beings who are primarily psychological beings, it is very important to not. So this business that it's trickling down, and why don't you see that even your guard or your maid now has a cell phone, is actually, I feel, a very, if not just incorrect, I think it's a dangerous kind of logic which we need to see through. So that would be my take on that.